everyone, it's Florian. I'm the CEO of Soundbrenner and I'm coming here from Hong Kong to you with another monthly Soundbrenner update. So first off, about the pre-orders of our woven nylon straps. In case you're one of the people waiting for them, a quick update. Of course, with the coronavirus, it's been very difficult to manufacture anything in China. But now, good news is our factory is slowly ramping back up and we right now expect in 3 weeks to finish the production batch and ship them out on our cost. So you will get an email about that if you pre-order the woven nylon strap in a couple of weeks. So stay on the lookout for that. With that said, now let's get into the most exciting part of the update. Because despite everything that's been going on in the world, our engineers have been relentless. They have been working super hard to ship the very first firmware update for the core, which is available right now for you to install. And on top of that, we also have new updates for iOS and Android for the mobile apps that are also available right now. So let's get into it and check what's new. So let's dig into what's new in the core. And by the way, I'm going to show you in a second in the app section of this video how to actually update your core with your mobile app. So just stay tuned for that. But for now, let's check out what's new in the core. So first of all, a really big feature we've been working on for a long time is localization. This may not be as exciting for you if you are a native English speaker, but if you're not, and more than half of our customers are not native English speakers, then you can now change the language of the core very easily here in the app settings. So all you have to do is open your core settings, go to General and select Language. And let's say I want to have Japanese. I click and there you go. As you can see, now my core is fully available in Japanese. And that's pretty amazing. We had to implement all the different fonts. And also, something I want to show you right now is the scrolling. Because previously, if the text didn't fit, it was just cut off. But now we actually have a scrolling feature, and that was a big requirement to actually make smartphone notifications work and make them appear on the core. And now we're kind of laid the foundation for that. Okay, so then on the music tool side, there's a brand new algorithm for the tuner. So previously when you were tuning, you might have noticed sometimes the core would get confused between the E and the A, but that's now much more accurate, so you'll have a better tuning experience, which is great. On top of that, we got the feedback that many people didn't know that the core was designed for louder volumes when it comes to the dB meter that you typically have when you play music, like above 70. So to make that more clear, we updated the user interface a bit. So if I'm really quiet, you can see now less than 70 is just displayed as less than 70, but then anything above 70 will be very accurate. So hopefully that gives some clarity and you'll appreciate that update as well. Next, we updated the algorithm that powers on the screen of the core when you wear it on your right wrist. Previously, we only had one algorithm no matter which wrist you wore it, which meant that on the right wrist it was actually quite bad and it didn't turn on the screen very well. But now that should be much better. So if you wear your core on your right wrist, you have a way better experience checking your time, and it actually makes a really big difference there. Last, some smaller quality of life improvements. So we updated the indicator when you select something on the core. Previously, it would just blink. What I currently, for example, I've selected BPM, that would just blink, but now there's a white box around it, which makes the whole experience a little bit more intuitive, and it's easier to see what you have selected. On top of that, if your core runs out of battery, now it will not just say it's out of battery when you try to use it, but on top of that, it also still tells you the current time. So if you forgot to charge your core, at least you can still get the time, which is pretty handy. All right, that's it for the core updates for this month. So now that you know what's new for the core, I'm going to show you how to actually update the firmware. This works the same for iOS and Android. You just need to make sure you have the latest version of the app, and then you power up the app, you go down here to settings, you select your core, and now you will notice there's a new banner called Firmware Update available. So you just follow the on-screen instructions for that, and in 2 or 3 minutes your core will have the latest firmware and you have all these features available. Cool. Alright, let's get right into the iOS app, and I have a super exciting announcement, which is that we now, with this update, ship support for smartphone notifications for iOS as a beta version. By the way, for Android users, I just want to say we originally planned to release both betas at the same time, but as it turns out, Android is just a lot more work, so much more manufacturers, models, and versions that it takes our Android team a little longer, but be assured it's our top priority right now to release the Android beta there as well. So with that said, now let's get into some of the other features of the iOS app. I'm gonna open it up here, and really there's been, besides the notifications, a few things. We did some bug fixes, minor and major. We improved the performance of various things here and there. And also we added our how-to videos of the core. So you can access them now right here from the app. So if you want to get some tips and tricks, just check out this how-to video section. Okay, then let's check out how it actually works when you get a notification on the core, because that's interesting for everybody. So once you set up the core to have notifications and updated the latest firmware, then whenever you get a notification on your phone, the same notification will also appear on the core from all your apps, messages, email, calendar, and even phone calls. And so this is how it looks like. When you get a notification, you'll see a little app icon, you'll see the subject title, and then it will scroll and you can read it. If you press the top button, you put it back into the notification center. If you press the bottom button, you actually delete the notification and go to the next one in the queue if there is any. So since I'm on the watch face right now, I can show you how to access the notification center. So always on the watch face, all you have to do is twist the wheel to the right side and you'll see all the notifications in the notification center. I hope that made sense. Now I'm going to delete that one by pressing the bottom button, and there you go. The icon is gone and the dial doesn't work anymore because the notification center is empty. If you have the iOS app and you cannot get notifications to work, I would recommend the following things to troubleshoot. So first of all, go on your app into the iOS settings here, then go to Bluetooth, and then forget your core device. After you've done that, go into the app and also swipe to the left and make sure you remove your core device from the app, and then go here into the settings and factory reset your core like so. After that, just connect it again to the app, pair it, and after that your notifications should work if you updated the firmware with the latest version of the app. Alright, so for Android, we have improved the device settings quite a bit. So you now, for example, have the option to change the 24-hour clock notation. So depending where you live, you might prefer to have the AM, PM or 24 hours, and you can set that up now. You also have the language menu, so you can change the core to any language you want. And besides that, before there were some issues with the switches. So sometimes when you would turn on the alarm, another switch would react and it would kind of mess up the whole settings of the core. So that bug, which was really annoying, is now fixed. So if you had issues before with the DB alarm staying on, all of this kind of stuff should now be great. And other than that, all our Android engineers are now busy with the smartphone notifications. So again, stay tuned for that. That's it. These are all the new features that your core and your app can now do. To me, it's always like Christmas when our engineers send me a new update and suddenly my core can do new stuff. I hope you're at least half as excited as I am. And the great news is these kind of updates will come now more regularly. As I said, our biggest priority right now are Android smartphone notifications. And in parallel, our iOS engineers our core engineers, they're already working on some features as well. So you can expect the next update to come very, very soon. Last but not least, I want to mention, if you like your core, please consider leaving us a review. It doesn't matter where, on Amazon, on Guitar Center, on Thomann if you're from Europe, on Sweetwater. It means a ton, it makes a huge difference, and it's a way to support our work for free without spending a single dollar. So please leave a review if you have 5 minutes. It means the world to me. Thank you so much and see you soon. Cheers.